There's a new technology that's been creating quite a bit of buzz over the past year or so that involves creating art using artificial intelligence. And people have been weighing in from both sides of the aisle as to its potential benefits, as well as the harms that it could do to artists in the future. But because the technology is so new, all really anyone can do at this point is give their opinion as to where they see the future of art heading if AI should become a dominant factor in the game. So in this video, I'm going to do just that. Give my opinion on the negative effects that AI is already having on the artistic community. So if you're an artist or someone who's interested in preserving the future of artistic creativity and vision, then stick around. Hey guys, Craig here. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock for the past few years, I'm sure you've heard about AI-generated art. And as I said at the beginning of the video, because the technology is really only in its infancy as far as being introduced into the art community, all any of us can really do right now is offer up our own opinions as to how we feel about it. And in doing so, create further dialogue down the road to prevent the technology from doing more harm than good. So in this video, I want to discuss what I perceive to be the negative impact that AI-generated art is already having on the art community and will continue to have as the technology continues to advance. Now, I just want to preface this discussion by saying that what I'm about to share here is purely my own opinion and nothing more. So if you disagree with me, then feel free to share your own opinions in the comment section of this video. That being said, let's get started. Now, the idea for this video came about as a result of an email I received from a company that I'm affiliated with called Creative Fabrica. Now, if you've been around my channel for any length of time, I'm sure you've heard me talk about them. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Creative Fabrica, they're a website that provides a platform for artists to sell their goods and services on, and in doing so, enables other creative individuals to purchase those products as a means to bring their own artistic projects to life. Whether it's illustrations, custom fonts, logos, backgrounds, knitting patterns, theme-related crafts, or art-related tutorials, Creative Fabrica has pretty much got it all. And they continue to add new products and services to their platform all the time. They've been providing a very crucial service to the artistic community for many years now. They're one of the reasons that a lot of artists are actually able to make a living off of their art. And they also enable creative people who may lack the artistic skills to take a project from beginning to end on their own to purchase the artwork and supplies that they need to complete their projects. And this is the reason that I partnered with them. Whether it's personal projects or commercial projects, there are really no limits to what you can create using Creative Fabrica. So if you're someone who could use a little extra help from some amazing artists to bring your own artistic vision to life, then just know that I have two links in the description section of this video. One that will get you a limited time 1-year all-access subscription, which includes unlimited downloads for just $79.99. That's a $268 savings off the regular price, and you'll keep that subscription rate for life. Or if you just want to try it out, you can use the second link, which will get you a 7-day all-access subscription, which also includes unlimited downloads for just $1. Now, this relationship that Creative Fabrica has been able to cultivate between artists and other creative individuals over the past few years is amazing, and they deserve a lot of credit for it. But over the last few weeks, they've decided to add a new feature to their platform, and that feature is an AI art generator called CF Spark. Now, this software is really no different from any of the other art generators that are available elsewhere online. They all pretty much work the same way. You type in what it is you're looking for, and then the software uses your description to generate multiple pieces of artwork that will hopefully fit your description. So a woman named Valentina, who happens to be the partnership manager for Creative Fabrica, reached out to me about a week ago asking me if I'd be interested in promoting to the viewers on my YouTube channel their new AI generator, CF Spark. Now, when I first read her email, as an artist, I have to admit that I was kind of put off by it, which is the reason that I didn't reply to it right away. If there's one thing that I've learned over all my years, is that you never respond to an email when you're in a heightened state of emotion, especially when that person you're responding to is a business partner. So I just left the email in my inbox. A few days later, I received a follow-up email from Valentina asking me if I'd had a chance to read her previous email, and if I had, would promoting CF Spark be something that I was interested in? Now, to be honest, I think Valentina would have been perfectly content receiving a yes or no response from me. But that's not what she got. What she got was my opinion of what I thought about Creative Fabrica adding an AI generator to their platform. Now, normally, I'm not in the habit of giving my opinion to someone, especially when it hasn't been asked for. But this is a very pivotal moment in history for artists. AI is without a doubt going to have a very huge impact on artists in the years to come. But as for whether or not the impact will be positive or negative, that still remains to be seen. But from what I'm seeing, it's not looking very good so far. And I think it's important that all artists begin to speak up and voice their opinions on this subject. Because this AI technology is not only going to affect illustrators and painters, it's also going to affect photographers, musicians, and writers as well. There's already AI technology out there that allows you to take any written article, copy and paste it into an AI generator, which will then completely rewrite that article in a manner so that it's no longer considered plagiarism, but still manages to deliver the exact same message. So then what's to prevent a non-writer from pasting a classic novel or a screenplay into the generator? And the answer to that is nothing. People are always complaining about how all of the new programming on streaming services like Netflix and Prime has really started to suck lately. And why do you think that is? It's because all studios are doing is just remaking old movies. There's very little originality when it comes to writing screenplays these days. And that's really all that AI generators have been designed to do, recycle what's already there. Now, I know a few non-artists are going to chime in here and say that AI generators are doing the exact same thing that human artists do when they create art, and that is reference other images. And they'd be right. That is what human artists do. But human artists also draw from emotion and personal experience. When creating a dark piece, they draw from their own anger, fear, or hatred. When creating an inspirational piece, they inject hope, empathy, and faith into their work. And these are all human emotions that AI generators just don't have the ability to feel or experience. This is why human artists have the ability to take art to the next level, somewhere it's never been before. How are you going to create artwork that's relatable to another human being when you've never actually experienced the emotions that that human being is currently going through? You can't. So the AI generators will just continue to rehash what has already been created. And unfortunately, as the technology begins to deliver higher quality art and becomes more efficient and affordable, customers will begin to use it instead of using human artists. And since artists will no longer be able to make a living creating art, they'll actually stop. With no new art being created by humans, the AI generators will have nothing new to reference, which means that they'll just continue rehashing out all of the old art. And at that point, artistic creativity and vision will be dead. But they're not dead because human artists will no longer be creating art. They're dead because artistic creativity and vision will no longer be required to create art. The creative or visionary skills required for a human to create a work of art don't really engage when the artist is just throwing around ideas of what to draw. Anyone can make suggestions on what to draw, whether they're artistically inclined or otherwise. But artistic creativity and vision only get set in motion when it comes time to create the work of art. It takes artistic creativity and vision to determine how the piece is going to be laid out, from what perspective it'll be drawn, and what's the color palette going to be, how will the scene be lit, and where's the lighting source going to come from. And these are just a few of the questions that every artist asks themselves whenever they're starting a new piece of art. But you don't have to answer these questions when you're creating art with AI, because the computer will make those decisions for you. Artistic creativity and vision will no longer be required to make art. And this is why they'll die. When I was drawing as a teenager, there was no such thing as digital art. In fact, there was no such thing as a personal computer back in those days either. So I'm old enough to remember when digital drawing software was introduced into the art community. There was a huge divide when that happened. For over a decade, traditional artists refused to acknowledge digital artists as actual artists. It took quite a bit of time for artists to realize that the software didn't actually create art for you. It was simply a tool that would allow you to create art in a different way. Even as advanced as drawing and painting software has become, you still have to have artistic talent to be able to create any decent piece of artwork using it. And the same thing happened when 3D animation software was introduced many years later. Animators thought that they were all going to lose their jobs to the software. Once again, it took animators a while to realize that the software wouldn't actually animate on its own, that it was just a tool to help artists animate. But to be able to create art with an AI generator doesn't require artistic talent or creativity at all. To create beautiful art with an AI generator, all you have to be able to do is type. AI generators are not a tool designed to help artists create art. They're a tool designed to create art without the use of an artist. I can already hear the proponents of AI insisting that the technology was designed to help artists come up with new ideas, and therefore it's not a negative thing. And that's true. It can be used for that. Just like a gun can be used for target practice. But if you point it at a living being, it can also become very deadly. So it all comes down to implementation. How is the technology being used? By the user. And that brings us back to my email from Creative Fabrica. I want to read to you now my response to Valentina's email. Hey Valentina, I've read your email and I'm just going to give you my opinion as an artist. Introducing an AI generator to your site is kind of a dick move on the part of Creative Fabrica. Your entire business has been built on the backs of artists. If every artist was to pull all of their content from your website right now, your business would be over. That's how much you rely on them. Now you're introducing something that is an alternative to artists, the very people who helped you build your business. And to add insult to injury, you're encouraging non-artists to accumulate images that they've created using your AI generator and to start selling those images on the Creative Fabrica platform, which creates even more competition for your actual artists. Just due to the fact that you think this is a good idea, I'm guessing that you're not an artist, and I don't fault you for that. But keep something in mind, AI won't stop at replacing artists. One day you'll come into work and find that Creative Fabrica has installed another AI program that eliminates the need for partnership managers. It's just something to think about. I'll keep promoting the artist-created content on Creative Fabrica, but when the day comes that the AI generator is your biggest selling feature, I'll break my affiliation with you, as will likely the thousands of other artists on YouTube who currently promote you. So no, I'm not interested in promoting this service. I'm just going to keep on teaching and inspiring humans how to draw and create art themselves, without the use of an AI generator that does it for them. But thanks anyway. Now Valentina responded back to me, and her response was pretty much what I expected it to be. She very politely made the point that Creative Fabrica sees AI as a tool to help artists get inspired to create new art. Here's where the first problem with that statement arises. Human artists, for the most part, have a general understanding of copyright law, and they tend to operate under a code of ethics when it comes to referencing other artists' work. A code of ethics that prevents them from copying another artist's work to the extent that it would violate that artist's copyright in any way. Now, AI image generators aren't currently bound by the same copyright laws as human artists are, nor do they understand the ethical ramifications of infringing on another human artist's copyrights. Even with its limited use, there have already been multiple instances where AI-generated artwork has pretty much been found to be a direct copy of a human artist's work, especially in cases where the AI generator users have uploaded samples of a particular human artist's work to an AI prompt generator in an attempt to achieve a rendering that's similar to that particular artist's style. Now, since we know that AI generators don't understand copyright, nor do they operate under the same code of ethics as human artists do when referencing, and since we have no way of knowing which images the generators are referencing when creating their artwork, once we take into account the fact that we've already seen multiple instances of direct copying by the generators, we have to at least assume that every piece of AI-generated artwork could possibly be in violation of a copyright law. And this poses problems for both artists and platforms like Creative Fabrica. For artists, this situation creates an unfair playing field, wherein they have to abide by a set of rules that the users of AI image generators don't. It also opens up the possibility for potentially costly copyright infringement lawsuits against platforms like Creative Fabrica down the road. It's just the law of averages. The more people using this technology, the more instances of copyright infringement are bound to occur. The only way to prevent this from happening and to make AI image generators nothing more than a tool to help inspire artists to create new art is if Creative Fabrica had a provision in their terms of use that stated that none of the art created by the AI image generator could be sold as is on the platform, and that it needed to be modified to the point where the modified artwork would no longer be considered a derivative of the original AI generated piece. If they were to do that, then I'd concede and fully agree with Valentina that the AI image generators were nothing more than a tool for artists. But that's not what they're doing. They're encouraging their users to pump out as much AI-generated art as they can, and then allowing them to sell it on their platform as is, in direct competition with actual artists. And this is where the second problem arises. When you consider the fact that in the time it takes a human artist to rough out, refine, ink, and paint one single piece of artwork, An AI image generator can create about 1,000 pieces of art. So if left unchecked, within about 2 years' time, it's quite probable that about 80% of all of the artwork on the Creative Fabrica platform will have been generated by AI technology. And that will push human artists right off the platform. Creative Fabrica will have gone from shooting at targets to shooting at humans. Now, for those of you who are watching this video who don't consider yourselves artists, I think the best way for me to drive this point home is to use an analogy. Imagine that a developer had created a mall that had nothing but high-end artisanal bakeries in it. Bakeries that employed the most talented bakers in the world. And each bakery specialized in creating the most delicious all-natural pastries, cookies, cakes, and breads. And their products were so good that this mall was packed every single day. In fact, there was a lineup around the block from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. every single day of the week. Then, one day after seeing the long lineups, the developer got an idea on how to make some extra money. Assuming that many of the customers were probably getting annoyed with having to wait in line to purchase their culinary delights, he decided to put in an entire wall of vending machines right in the entryway of the mall. These vending machines sold pre-packaged, over-processed, unhealthy pastries at a discount price. The developer's logic was that he was doing it to satisfy the customers who didn't have time to wait. What ended up happening was all of the new customers who really had no motivation to wait in line because they'd never actually tried the high-end pastries before just started using the vending machines every day instead. His entire business, as well as those long lines of customers, had been accumulating as a result of the hard work and dedication put in by all of those artisanal bakers and culinary artists. And he was now undercutting them to make a quick buck. AI generators are just the vending machines of the art world. Now don't get me wrong, I get why Creative Fabrica is doing what they're doing from a business perspective. No business owner wants his or her customers to leave their platform without being able to find what it is they're looking for. The way Creative Fabrica probably sees it is that if there's a piece of artwork that a customer can't find in any of their artist portfolios, then the AI generator is a possible solution to help that customer get what they want. But an AI generator is not the only solution to that problem. There are alternative solutions that don't require them to sell out the very artists who helped them build their business to where it is today. The first solution is to make available to all of the artists who sell on Creative Fabrica the customer search analytics from the platform. They should have a section on their website that's only accessible to sellers that shows them exactly what people are searching for. An example of the analytics could be something like 500 customers search for an illustration featuring a unicorn coming out of a rainbow in the past 30 days. This would give artists a better idea of what to create. A second solution would be for Creative Fabrica to start brokering custom commissions between artists and customers, the same way Fiverr does. If you can't find what you want, then just contact the artist whose art style you like to see if they'd be interested in doing a one-off custom commission for you. All of the payment and contract side of the arrangement could be done through Creative Fabrica. Those two solutions alone would take care of 90% of the problem of customers not being able to find what they want. Look, I'm not knocking Creative Fabrica or any other platform for that matter for introducing AI generators. I just hope that they keep the technology in check and that they don't let it compromise the relationships that they've built with the artists who have been with them from the very beginning. AI-generated art, photography, music, and literature is already here, and it's not going anywhere, which is why it's never been more important than it is right now that all artists start speaking out and voicing their opinions on this subject. What happens to the world of art in the coming decades is going to be a direct result of what we all do or don't do right here, right now. So regardless of what type of artist you are or what platform you're on, speak up. Because it's possible that future generations may never get to see your art unless this generation gets to hear your voice. Now, if you're a creative person who lacks the artistic skills to create your own artwork, and you'd like to learn more about how to create activity books to sell on Amazon using artwork created by actual artists, then be sure and check out either one of these videos right here. Until next time, take care.